Good evening, everybody. Let's look at what is happening with Tesla. We closed down $8.64. That's 3.27%. Closed at 265.71. Post-market, we seem to be up by 43 cents a little bit. So let's look at what's happening here with Tesla. We are still having a lot of problems with 265.32. We had buyers in the past that would take the stop higher at that level right here. And that same level also was a big seller's resistance between June 12th and June 30th. So this was a big resistance at that point in time. It was broken and then it came back down. And then we had some support. The buyer support was there. So from July 3rd to July 19th, we had the buyer support. When the stock was coming back down, we had people that were convinced enough. We had buyers that were convinced enough in Tesla that they would just come back in and push the stock back up. Those buyers are not there anymore. And it is now the sellers that are taking over. Since the earning calls last week, we had only one day where the stock price closed above 265.32. And even though today we tried and opened higher, we opened today at 268.31, but then we were squished down by the sellers. The sellers are just too strong for the buyers. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart to understand a little bit this dynamic. This is the first candle of the day. As I mentioned, we opened at 268.31. We came back down right away during the first hour, and we had lost stochastic over 60. When we don't have stochastic over 60, either on the daily chart, either on the 1 hour chart, any move up without stochastic is not to be believed. Yesterday, we did not have stochastic over 60. Today, we started the day above 265.32, which is quite nice, but we did not have stochastic over 60, so this was not to be believed. And we came back down. We tried again. The buyer showed up on the second and third hour to push us above 265.32, but then on the fourth hour, we were squished down hard. Fourth hour, fifth, sixth, and seventh. The sellers are really winning this round, and we have a stochastic of 2, which is extremely low. We are now finding some buyer support a little bit lower. We have buyer support at 255.85 on the 1 hour chart. But as I said, stochastic is very weak. We'll see if this support holds for long. Let's go back on the daily chart. Let's look at our indicators. On the daily chart, we have stochastic at 13, which is extremely low. MACD, the 2 lines are coming down. As soon as both lines cross the 0 line, which is right here, this is going to be a further indication that things are really taking a downturn. We have RSI that crossed below 50, so this is a bearish signal that just appeared. And for the MI right here, we still have the green line above the red line. The 2 lines are getting closer and closer as soon as we have an inversion of these 2 lines. So when the green line is going to be below the red line, this is going to be another bearish indication. I think we can start thinking at shorting Tesla, at least for the short term. If we break 255.85, this is a short for me. I don't know until where it's going to go. It could be stopping at 240.89, or it could go through or stop at 217.65. These are the 2 possible levels if we start coming down lower than 255.85. But I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research and make your own decisions. Let's look at some Tesla news. So Elon Musk says Tesla's new full self-driving update is mind-blowing. But that does not mean much anymore. I think Fred does not like Elon too much. Musk says that he tested an alpha build of Tesla full self-driving beta version 12, and he says that it is mind-blowing. We'll have to see what some YouTubers are going to post about this to make our own decisions. There's another piece of news. Tesla vastly overstates its vehicle's range, report states. A new report out today details that Tesla, the world's leading electric vehicle maker, is gaming the EPA system to vastly overstate its vehicle's range and also diverting claims from drivers who are seeing as little as half the range. What is this? Reuters investigation uncovers a lot of detail on the inflated numbers that EV experts have known about for years, charitably calling Tesla's range estimates optimistic. So here's the excerpt. Tesla years ago began exaggerating its vehicle's potential driving distance by rigging their range estimating software. The company decided about a decade ago for marketing purposes to write algorithm for its range meter that would show drivers rosy projections for the distance it could travel on a full battery, according to a person familiar with an early design of the software for its in-dash readouts. Then, when the battery fell below 50% of its maximum range, the algorithm would show drivers more realistic projections for their remaining driving range, this person said, to prevent drivers from getting stranded as their predicted range started declining more quickly. Tesla were designed with a safety buffer, allowing about 15 miles of additional range even after the dash readout showed an empty battery, the source said. The directive to present the optimistic range estimates came from Tesla chief executive Elon Musk, this person said. Elon wanted to show good range numbers when fully charged, the person said, adding, when you buy a car off the lot seeing 350 miles, 400-mile range, it makes you feel good. Tesla was fined $2.2 million by the Korea Fair Trade Commission for falsely overstating its range earlier this year. This is something that's quite hard to prove because there are so many factors that can influence the range that you are actually going to get. And yes, the guessometer that the car has need to make some assumptions. It needs to make a bunch of assumptions. I don't know what to think about this one. This whistleblower kind of mentions that this is done on purpose. I don't know about that. Let's take a look at the VIX. VIX has gone up a lot. So we are up 1.22. That's 9.26%. Close at 1440. So we were getting very close to 1264, but now what is happening is that we came quite a bit higher. So we broke 1409, which was a resistance that lasted. It pretty much lasted since the beginning of June, and now we just crossed it quite strongly. Next up, I want to look at is 1485. If we break 1485, then we can start being scared in our long position, and we might have to close them. This is why we take a look at the VIX, because if we are ever going to have a crash, the VIX is going to tell us first. There's no need to panic yet, but we just need to keep an eye on it every single day. Rivian, after a great day yesterday where we broke 2691, we have a reversal right here. So the sellers were just not happy about this and they just started selling this down. So our 2691 buyer support that was there yesterday is no longer a buyer support. This is a seller resistance. We closed at 2605, down 1.1. That's 4.05%. This is not too bad because if we are looking at the slope here, we are really into a bullish channel for Rivian, and this is where support now is. A candle does not make a trend. In terms of the trend, we are still bullish since July 17. And we still have a great stochastic at 85, and every one of our other indicators are also very positive. And the post-market, we seem to be up by 33 cents, so that's 1.28%. So maybe things are going to pick back up tomorrow. Xpeng, after the tremendous move that we had yesterday, we are still up 76 cents today, 3.91%, closed at 2022. And post-market, we seem to be up again. This is another great day. Yes, this is a red candle. We had a little bit of a drop during the day, but we still open quite a lot higher than where we closed yesterday. There is still a lot of buyers in this one. And if we look at the volume, we had a volume of 138 million yesterday. And today we have a volume of 51 million. So that's a little bit lower, but it's still almost 3 times the average volume that we had in the past. We still have buyers into this one. NEO closed up 7 cents, 0.53%, closed at 13.24. Post-market, we seem to be up by 10 cents. This is similar to Xpeng. We opened quite high, but we're squished down during the day. But we still made a higher high and a higher low. So almost everybody that bought NEO today had to pay a higher price than what they could have had a NEO stock yesterday. This is still pretty bullish. This is the current bullish channel that we are in. It is a very shallow channel. And when we have a shallow channel, it won't last a long time. But here it is. Palantir, we were out of this bullish channel yesterday. This meant that we are not going up anymore. So right now we are currently going sideways. We have buyer support at $16. We don't have stochastic over 60. So we need to watch this like a hawk because this could be going down further. Nvidia, we are up $4.48. That's 0.99%. Closed at $4.59, and post-market, we seem to be up by a further $1.8. Yeah, this is bouncing on our bullish buyer support. Yes, I prefer to see green candles when we are bouncing. We had one green and a red here. We are still making higher lows and higher highs, but this is not as strong as I would have hoped. But it's still going up. We cannot really complain. Let's look at some indices. So we have QQQ. This is pretty much going sideways. We still have buyer support at 372.61. We have a big red candle. We started higher, but then we're squished down. Dow Jones, the same thing. This is slowing down a little bit, but we still have a good stochastic. And we are still in our bullish channel, so that's not so bad. S&P 500, another. This is a red day. We are down 29 and 34, so that's 0.64%. Nasdaq Composite, we are resting again on this support. This support is very important at 14,006. And we just lost stochastic over 60. So this is a warning sign. Physical gold, yeah, we thought that we could break maybe 1541. It was getting closer and closer. But now we see a complete reversal. Buyers could not sustain the move that we had for the past 2 days. Silver, same thing with silver. Could not break 864. We are just coming down. Bitcoin, this is a sideways day, so we are down 0.65. Ripple is still respecting this buyer support. This is not a big day. This is a red day, a small red day. US dollar, this is quite surprising. This is quite surprising. This is a lot stronger today than what we have seen in the past 2 days. We still don't have stochastic over 60. As I say, we need to be cautious. We could go back to this point right here, but we have a big downward seller resistance right here. Even if we go here, maybe we are going to come back down. We should not get too excited. And NEO battery material closed at 38 cents. We have stochastic over 60. This is a red day, but we still made a higher high and a higher low. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.